Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things we're talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. We'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. We'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth.
Hey, there you go. It always helps turn on the microphone. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Glad you could be here. Let's look at what we've got to deal with today. Energetically, today is the 5th. We have two signs, which means we have a transition taking place, or it took place. It shows that 3:46 a.m. is when this occurred. So we went from Aries into Taurus. Now we are in Taurus, where we're going to read for the rest of today. Okay? So Taurus is an earth sign. So now we've made a change. We have an earth sign as the unconscious, the moon sign, and we have an air sign, which is the conscious mind. So air and earth, those are the two elements we're working with today, right? Air and earth. Earth is the physical thing, the practical thing, the thing that is formed from the combination of the fire, the water, and the air. And the air is the words and the actions. So our conscious mind is seeking out to find ways to express itself with the words and actions, with the Aquarian ideas as we go forth through this period of time. And then the unconscious mind with the sun sign in Taurus is a little bit more grounded. It's dealing with the physical world, dealing with earthly matters, okay? So we're looking at today, Taurus, the bull, deals with things that deal with music, beauty. The idea behind it is listening to the inner teacher. Okay, so those are some of the things we've got going on today. The biggest and brightest asteroids, 1 Sirius and 4 Vesta, respectively, are only about 4 degrees apart in eastern Virgo in the early morning hours. Their magnitudes are 8.2 and 7.2, respectively. Use the finder in the February sky and telescope, page 50. Alright, so there you go. Find out where that is. Our moon phase is 38% full, making its way back up to the full moon. Mayan Oracle. We're at a 7-tone day. 7 tones are called the resonant tone of attunement, right down here. Resonant tone of attunement. Kin for today is the mirror, which is about reflection. So today, the idea is about looking at our own reflection. The guide for today is the dog, which is love and loyalty. And all of this is happening. We're dealing with the wave spell, or the theme of our free will. Today, we are reflecting our own free will back at us. Okay, and tuning ourselves to this new direction. The phrase for today is, I channel in order to reflect inspiring order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the resonant tone of attunement. I am guided by the power of heart. We're at space weather. Solar wind is 304.7 kilometers per second. Planetary K index is between 0 and a 1. That big coronal hole is turning our way. So we definitely will be feeling something coming from that direction. M-class flare possibility is at 80, X at 50. Geomagnetic storm activity has dropped down significantly from where it was yesterday. It was pretty much in the 25s, 15s and 25s now. There's no 25s at all, so it's looking like that's dropped down a bit. Alright, let's get to our numerology for today. The numbers for today are 5. So how do we arrive at that? Okay, we've got the 2, February 5th. 2 plus 5 is 7, and then the year 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4 is 7. So we have a 7-day and a 7-year equals a 14, and 1 plus 4 is 5. So today would be a 5 on our numerology. Okay, so we're going to look over a 5. 5s are energetic, adventurous, daring, loving, freedom-loving. They also tend to be versatile, flexible, adaptable, curious, social, sensual, quick-thinking, witty, courageous, and worldly. On the flip side, 5s can be unstable, chaotic, self-indulgent, irresponsible, or careless. They should beware the consequences of drug abuse and unhealthy sexual tendencies. Associated with the tarot, with the Taurus is the astrology, and the tarot card is the Hierophant, which is the card right here. And it's all about the inner teacher. So today, our numerology is 5, and we've moved into the moon sign of Taurus, which Taurus is the sign of the Hierophant. So there's some synchronicity going on between the numerology of the day and where we are with our moon phase. So one of the cool things about looking at what are the daily energies is to see all the ways in which they overlap. The numerology overlaps with the astrology, so on and so forth. And you add the Mayan in there. All of these different ways of looking at energy are just helping us to understand a bit more about how this universe works and some of the synchronicities that take place. I think it's pretty cool to look at. It helps me, and it has helped me on a daily basis just to be able to navigate through life, because you look at the path of energy that's out around you and you're able to understand a bit more how to work with it. It's not necessarily an intellectual understanding, just more of an intuitive, you know what I mean, because you're doing the same thing out there. Alright, UFO news is up next. Stay tuned.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
Alright, Dirk. Thank you very much. Alright, today, let's see what we have here. We have our aliens dock ship at ISS to have a meeting on live cam. Pretty interesting. A live meeting up by the space station there. There we go. Earth's orbit International Space Station. There's a link. You can watch it. This was caught by StreetCap1 of YouTube, and yes, it's 100% real. I have followed this guy in his research for 2 years, and he has never tried to deceive anyone. He, like myself, only seeks the truth. There we go. Look at that. Here before us, we see a long, light UFO parked alongside the ISS hull. There is no intent to hide itself or partly cloak, so we know that the aliens and the astronauts ISS know of this, which makes us conclude aliens and NASA had a meeting. I'm sure this is just one of many that they have had, but to actually catch it and on video is mind-blowing. This is not a glare. Notice how the light changes and the UFO is a solid object near the ISS. It looks small, but is about 10 meters across or more. I would sure like to be a fly in the wall during that meeting. When I asked StreetCap1 if he had any more footage of the UFO, he stated today yes, it was there for some time. Kept the video short though, as it does not move, then they're going to move. Okay. So, there we go. Nice, good shot of a captured a image up by the ISS. Pretty interesting, huh? So we always wonder sometimes what goes on up there. Well, there's some sort of meeting taking place. ISS. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Good capture, StreetCap1. Okay, now we're going to go up to Mars. And Mars is still asking the question or discovering that there's water on Mars. And it says more evidence of water on Mars. Surface stuck to the Curiosity rover wheels. So that's what they're saying, that because there's dirt stuck in there, that it must be filled with water or have water in it, like mud, and that's why it's sticking to there. Looking for Mars anomalies, they stumbled across something odd. Not that anomalies are not odd, but something that should not be occurring. I noticed a buildup of dirt on the wheels of the Curiosity rover, more so in some photos than others, which tells me that the moisture in the soil varies just a few meters away. After Turkey scientists announced that they discovered water on Mars, NASA, just a few weeks ago later, announced the same thing, trying to take credit from the Turkish scientists. Well, we have heard about the water, and I have even shown you photos of streams and rivers on Mars. But let me show you some up close of the wheels of the rover. In one photo, it looks like the rover went 4x4ing across the surface with compact Thai mud on its tires. Alright? So that's what we're looking at there. So it does bring up a good point. Indeed. Alright, now we have also up on Mars glowing object with 8 right angles. See it right there, and it doesn't look normal, or it looks very symmetrical. Look carefully at this Mars photo and you notice a powerful white glow coming from some rocks on a hillside. If you take the photo and enlarge it, this glowing object has 8 right angles, which some naive people will call pixelation. However, you will also notice that everything else around the object remains in focus. This is proof that it is not a camera glitch, but an object or entity caught on the surface of Mars. NASA is relying on you to be as skeptical, but I'm relying on you to come to your own conclusions and ignore those that society has conditioned you to believe. Okay, so let's see what we have here. It's the same image right there. Kind of makes you wonder what's going on up there. Why they decide they don't want to let people know what's going on. Okay, pretty good shot. Alright, the link's available. firstcontactradio.com so you can see what you think. Next up, we have a triangle UFO passes over the moon. Take a journey into the unknown with Darren Crapo and examine UFO sightings recorded over Santa Rosa, California, New York City, Boomerang Triangle over the moon, Western Australia, Honduras. What we have here is a 27-minute summary of a number of UFO sightings that have taken place this month. This is a good little compilation video that Darren puts out, and it kind of goes over a number of the sightings. Alright, we're not getting any good loading here, so the link's available so you can check it out. But it's a nice, good compilation. We've seen a number of these, but it's always good just to kind of look at the way other people put them together. Here we have another compilation. This is UFO Hunter shares his best sightings and videos. Alright, Ken Hurt, UFO Hunter, shares 4 different videos of identified flying object he has personally captured, 2 in Murraysville, Pennsylvania, and 2 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So this is another UFO special that's out there. And I kind of get a little glimpse of what he's got going on. And he has a lot of good information here. He's got sightings, things that he's captured. So check this out, and let me get to one more here, our last one. It says, has alien life already been found? 5 scientists think so. No one has convinced everyone in the scientific community that extraterrestrial life exists, but almost since space exploration began, research has emerged that seems to show signs of life on meteorites or on Mars. Several NASA astrobiologists and other researchers have said they have found compelling evidence of alien life. Here's a look at 5 studies. We have this first one here, meteorite fossils. NASA astrobiologist Richard Rover said that he found fossil evidence of cyanobacteria on meteorites. In a post on NASA's website in 2007, Hoover wrote, "It is concluded that the well-preserved fossilized filaments and dense matters found on the Orgulio meteorite represent the remains of a complex aquatic and benthic cyanobacterial mat community that grew on the parent body of the meteorite prior to the entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Skeptics said Hoover's study was questionable because cyanobacteria live in water and require sunlight to grow, conditions unlikely on comets. Now we have a controversial meteorite study closer to vindication. In 1996, chief astrobiologist for NASA David McKay announced the discovery of microscopic life from Mars. Bill Clinton lauded the discovery, and it received much publicity before being called into question. With new technology, however, NASA researchers found evidence in 2011 to further support McKay's theory. We feel more confident than ever that Mars probably once was and maybe still is home to life, McKay said at 2011 NASA-sponsored conference on astrobiology. In 1996, McKay had argued that the methane and other materials found on the meteorite were likely produced by microorganisms. Others argued that the materials may have been produced by either heating or shock decomposition of inorganic matter. Okay, then we go down here. We have the third one. This is decades later, Gilbert Levin Mountains. Viking landers found life on Mars. In 1976, the Viking landers seemed to find living microorganisms in the planet's soil. Gilbert Levins developed a labeled release experiment for NASA. Here's how it worked. This is detailed by Johns Hopkins University magazine. 1. The lander scooped up the Martian soil. 2. The soil was sealed in a box with radiation detector to measure the base radiation. 3. Nutrients were injected into the soil in doses. The assumption was that if the soil contained microorganisms, these microorganisms were similar to Earth's, they would take into the nutrients and respirate, which would be picked up by the radiation detector. 4. As control, another soil sample was taken and heated to a level that would kill any microorganisms. The same process was applied to that sample. 5. Levine said the difference in radiation between two samples would show whether there was life on Mars. And 6. The test indeed showed emissions from the soil that suggested life, while the heated samples showed the absence of those emissions. NASA concluded another experiment with a different method developed by MIT that didn't show life in the soil. That test used a gas chromographic mass spectrometer and failed to detect organic compounds, meaning the soil could contain life as we understand it on Earth. Okay, and then we have alien life arrives on comets. A sampling device launched into the Earth's atmosphere by UK researchers in July of 2013 came back with what they say is evidence of alien life transported on comets. A report published in the Journal of Cosmology by the University of Sheffield's researchers states the device brought back by biological entities too large to have been carried from Earth. As a result, we conclude that the biological entities arrived from space, probably from comets. And last is red rain. One of the elements found in the stratosphere as described above resembles a red rain cell. According to the University of Sheffield researchers' report, red rain cells have also been the subject of controversy claiming evidence of alien life. Parts of Kerala State, India experienced red-colored rain in 2001. 2001 is attributed to colored lichen-forming algae spores of local origin. India's Center for Earth Studies in 2003 was attributed by scientists at the Vikram Sarabhi Space Center to a colored dust cloud that had traveled from India to the Persian Gulf, according to the Times of India article from that time. In 2006, Santoth Kumar and Godfrey Lewis, both physicists at Mahatma Gandhi University in Kerala, suggested a link between the red-colored particles and a meteor airburst event. They found biological cells in the rain. The cells, they said, strangely had no DNA. They argued for the possibility of extraterrestrial origin cometary fragments. So you can see 5 good places there: red rain, comets, Mars itself, lander, and then of course meteorites. That is our UFO news for today. Let me jump away and I will be back. This observation.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Alright, let's continue on. So there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world still. I'm sure that you're fully aware of all the craziness. All I gotta do is turn on any of the news channels. You know, I flip through the channels for the course of the day to stay on top of what's going on out there. And if there's anything that seems to be worthwhile that needs to be talked about, I'll make sure to talk about it here. But it seems like it's the same old rhetoric over and over and over again. Just different faces, another day. But we can certainly know that another politician has lied today. There's more corruption going on with the banking scandals. There's more threats of New World Order stuff going on every day. But if you look throughout history, you see that this has been going on for quite some time. So it's not a new thing that there are these threats or these rumors taking place. We're just at another point in history where they're going on. So we need to decide how we want to respond to them. Because at this point in time, maybe we could just see that they're nothing more than veiled threats to keep people at bay. And so if we decide where we're going to put our attention, and we decide that we're not going to put it there, maybe that changes everything. That's certainly been a direction I've been trying to take with the show, through the course of this year. Just seeing if we could focus a little bit somewhere else, not always looking at all of the negative. Because sometimes doesn't it get depressing or overwhelming when you look at the world and you see all the problems going on? I know we want to stay in tune and we want to be able to fix the problems, but we need to be able to look at different ways to fix the problems. And it doesn't seem like we're getting to the heart of the matter really so well in the physical world. So the spiritual world is the important part. The spiritual realm, because that's where we go to fix the problems that we have. Remember, we got the fire, the water, the air, and the earth. And if we go to those other places, so for example, if we know we got fire, water, air, and earth, earth is the final manifestation of those three. Fire represents ideas. So we know we have these idea level of energy in the world, in the universe. So we go to the idea level of things, to that spiritual mind level. Then we have the water, which is the emotional level of things. And we have the air, which is the intellectual level. So our thoughts and our words and our actions. We have three different levels and ways in which energy is used before it becomes a physical thing. And so we can really pay more attention to the way we are using our thoughts, the way we're expressing them, the way we're expressing our words and our emotions, the way we are using our actions. Lots of different things we can do on a daily basis to change. Because remember, we always have a choice how we're going to do things, which way we're going to go. So, I certainly hope that we can continue looking at the positive, and through the positive, accentuate more positive into the world. While at the same time, continuing to be aware of what is going on that we need to wake up from. But once you understand what we need to wake up from, do we need to keep reminding ourselves every day? We know what the problem is. It's not changing. It's just continuing on with different faces and different players. That's all. Alright, so after that, let me jump ahead now to this next piece. So, lost civilizations. There's been a lot of civilizations on this planet that have come and gone. One of those is Atlantis. We have remnants of Atlantis that pop up from time to time. There's objects that are in the desert, the Sphinx, the pyramids, which some think have dates go back, to the time of Atlantis. There are remnants around the world which seem to have connections to Atlantis. And it's been one of those continents that has been like the mystery place. What is it all about? Well, there's been some recent discoveries about Atlantis, where it was, and this will probably bring more questions to the table and more discussion, which is good. It's this huge underwater pyramid found near Portugal has Portuguese Navy investigating a link to Atlantis. Portuguese news reported the discovery of a very large underwater pyramid, first discovered by Desolino Silva between the islands of San Miguel and Terceira in the Azores of Portugal. According to claims, the structure is said to be perfectly squared and oriented by the cardinal points. Current estimates obtained by GPS digital technology is put to height at 60 meters with a base of 8,000 square meters. The Portuguese Hydrographic Institute of the Navy currently has the job of analyzing the data to determine whether or not the structure is man-made. Now, this picture here is, I'm not sure if this is just a stock picture or the picture of it, because it seems to me that back here there's another pyramid. So if this is it, then they've discovered multiple pyramids, but I don't see anywhere that says that is the case. So I'm not sure if this is the actual image of it or not, but it may be. Just saying what I notice. Alright, the pyramid is perfectly shaped and perfectly oriented to the cardinal points. So the pyramid was found in an area of the mid-Atlantic that has been underwater for about 20,000 years. Considering this is the time of the last ice age where glaciation was melting from its peak 2,000 years prior, whatever civilization, human or not, that was around before the ice age could be responsible for building the pyramid. While the Portuguese Navy still hasn't determined the origins, many might question why this hasn't been first reported on sooner than late 2012. Certainly, the NOAA, who studies volcanic activity in the area of the pyramid, would have discovered the pyramids through sonar imaging and so forth, since the area is heavily studied due to volcanic activity. Either the NOAA hasn't come across it yet, or they are hiding what they have found, or the pyramid doesn't exist. The last theory does not seem to be likely given the authenticity of the find. To further support the idea this pyramid could have been built by different civilizations, archaeologists from the Portugal Association of Archaeological Research have recently discovered evidence on Pico Island that suggests their belief that humans existed in the Azores region before the arrival of the Portuguese thousands of years ago. As of today, there is still no explanation for who created the rock art found on the islands. Was the pyramid built by whatever civilization existed prior to the Portuguese? Is it possibly not even man-made? Here, the Portuguese news report with English subtitles for those who wish to look at the authenticity of these claims. The Azores are an interesting region as they are a chain of 9 volcanic islands in 3 large main groups that are roughly 930 miles west of Lisbon. They are all situated around the fault lines between North America, Eurasia, and the African tectonic plates. An interesting place to have a pyramid given the energetic qualities associated with the pyramids. This video, it discusses some interesting bits of information that explores the authenticity of the story and the possible location visually using some maps. It is important to note the exact coordinates of the pyramid have not been released. He believes there may be the discovery of 2 more periods in the area. As image suggests, there could be a design link to that of the pyramids built in Egypt. So, if this is accurate, saying it could be more than 1 pyramid, and if this is the picture, then that does make sense, because there's another one right back there. You can see, there's the side. So, there is something more going on there, if indeed this is the true picture from that place. Let me play a little bit of this video clip for you here.
Está a 40 metros da superfície entre a Terceira e São Miguel. Tem uma base maior do que um estádio de futebol. A pirâmide foi detectada nos aparelhos de navegação do velejador Diocleciano Silva.
É impressionante devido às formas. É uma pirâmide perfeita, não é? E ainda por cima, a orientação, a implantação da pirâmide. Quer dizer, os vértices estão orientados norte-sul. Precisamente norte-sul. Como as pirâmides de Gizé.
A longa experiência do mar já lhe trouxe várias surpresas, mas nenhuma tão misteriosa. A descoberta foi feita há 5 meses, quando um médico veterinário procurava bancos de pesca. Depois de digerir a ideia, decidiu revelá-la.
Houve muitas situações que não dei conhecimento e mais tarde outras pessoas deram, noutras situações, não é? E depois ficamos a pensar, e devia ter dito, não disse, eu já sabia, e coisas assim.
Pela precisão das linhas, o velejador não acredita que a estrutura tenha origem natural e avança para uma explicação.
A Atlantis existiu, porque e andam desde há mais de um século à procura dela no Mediterrâneo, não é? Expedições e mais expedições e nunca a encontraram. Neste momento, não sei se é neste momento, mas aí há uns 2 anos estavam, havia uma expedição no sul de Espanha, mas já no Oceano Atlântico, à procura de umas certas formações debaixo d'água, e andam para lá, possivelmente seria a Atlântida, mas nunca mais disseram nada, e o certo é que nunca a encontraram.
Um acaso descodificado com a ajuda de um GPS que levanta dúvidas à história dos Açores. O velejador, que já entregou as coordenadas à tutela da cultura, espera agora ver o mistério desvendado.
Okay, so there you go. There's the official piece discussing, fine. This one back here, watch this one, it's a good one, 6 minutes and 49 seconds. I'm not going to play it. Alright, and here we have a little bit more supporting this find here. Underwater pyramid discovered in the Azores island. We have a video. And this is more of the same, the amateur discovery. Reports of underwater pyramid off the coast of Tesseria Island. Sunken pyramid. Atlantis pyramid off Azores coast. It's out here somewhere. Huge pyramid has been discovered. Okay, so lots of good supporting articles here. All about what might be here. And certainly you can see they all reference Atlantis. A lot of excitement because there's been a lot of talk about where Atlantis is, what happened to it, are we going to discover it again, and a lot of things went on during the Atlantean time period, as many of you know, that were very important and influential to this time period that we're in, so good to find that out. Alright, this here is a piece that says the divine mathematical numerical patterns in the Bible. This is a very interesting article here. The fact that there are 12 are all connected in the center is the 13. 13 is the number that bonds multiplicity into oneness. This is based on the work of Rabbi Solomon D. Sassoon. May his soul rise higher to help us. The early Torah scholars were called scribes or calculators because they counted the letters of the Torah. Almad Balvi Kushti 30a, based on the Chronicles 1, 255 and other verses. Virtually the whole Torah and the prophets as well as the Psalms and probably other parts of the Bible as well were written with straightforward patterns running through them and codes underpinning them. These are based on the precise word counts in gematria, which is the traditional system of assigning numerical value to each letter based on its order in the alphabet. The codes contributed the structure and design of the passages and provided insight under relevant topics. These sophisticated codes and patterns serve a number of purposes. They may beautifully serve the Word of God and help preserve the integrity of the text as it was subject to the processes of copying and transmission. Recognition of the wondrous pattern supplied the view of the recipients that the text was a genuine statement from a true prophet. Serious observers must conclude that the remarkable systems of word pattern and structure that run through the text without creating stilted reading were more intricate and difficult to compose than systems that run through the literary artifacts known to man, was the result of true prophetic inspiration. Although, through the use of symbolism, which includes number symbolism, the meanings enhanced through textual structure and word patterns that directed the knowledgeable reader to the deeper meanings, the prophets were also able to speak on those prepared to hear the fuller import of communication, while providing satisfactory messages to others. Although Rabbi Sassoon often stated that he did not know the meaning or implication of many instances of number usages or word patterns, their indications often conformed to the substance of other research he did into the meaning of the Torah text. The number 8, as refers to the covenant between God and Israel and implied a linkage with the prophetic dimension, while the number 13, the gematria of 1, denoted a subject associated with oneness of God, more basic than the concept denoted by 8. The number 21 is used to signify the combination of 13 plus 8. Often 8 and 13 will be used in tandem. The spiritual significance of the number 13, which, as reflected by the 13 attributes, divine names that draw forth mercy, relates to a transcendent dimension of godliness. This transcendence enables one to infuse spirituality within a material world. This is all just the tip of the iceberg. Much is left to be discovered. Alright, there's a lot more, but I'm going to leave that for you. Basically, you get the gist. It's talking about the idea of numbers, gematria, 13 being a sacred number, and how it really is so significant to all of these patterns. If we look at 13, we're told not to look at it because it's superstitious, because it's part of the occult. But occult means that which is hidden. That's the only thing it means. 13 is a number that hides the secrets of the universe. You had 12 apostles, and then you had Jesus, who was the 13th member. We look into the sky, we know that there's 12 astrological signs, but there's a 13th one down there, Ophiuchus. We also know that in the Mayan system, it follows the 13 cycles of the moon that happen over the course of the year. So 13 is important, not just 12, and when we look at these ways in which 13 and gematria and all of these hidden secrets are put into the words in the Bible, it's very, very exciting, and it speaks to us on different levels, and that's what the purpose of this is, to show us that as one becomes more initiated into the information available, then one begins to understand a little bit deeper what that information is all about. Okay? Alright, moving on. Are you feeling the energies is the question being asked here. Have you been feeling an energetic burst of energy lately for no apparent reason? If so, you're not alone. Many people have been experiencing an energetic burst of energy and unsure what it's attributed to. It could be from solar flares and coronal mass ejections, or it might be the energy being sent from the galactic center of our universe. Another possibility is the energy is being sent from one of our galactic neighbors, such as the Arcturians, who are not allowed to physically interfere with our race due to the law of free will, but can energetically assist in awakening our planet. The energies may also be associated with Pluto and Capricorn. Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008 and will remain there until 2023. Pluto, known as the destroyer, tears down that which is not in the humanity's best interest, which explains why we are seeing a collapse of money, religion, and government. For many people, Pluto and Capricorn will bring out the dark night of the soul, in which you receive the opportunity to purge energies that no longer benefit you. But in order to do this, these energies need to be positively transmuted, or else they will continue to reoccur until these lessons are learned. For those who are not working, who have been working on raising your vibrations, the incoming energies will be much stronger. Even if you are still going through the dark night of the soul, these energies will be uplifting and will help you to get through a difficult yet beneficial purging of old energies. Ultimately, we are seeing a huge shift in consciousness, as evidenced by the truther by the name of Matthew Mills. Grabbed the microphone during the Super Bowl post-game show and announced to the world, "Investigate 9/11. 9/11 was perpetrated by people in our own government." This event was viewed by millions of people globally and has gone viral on the internet. In order for this event to even occur, there needed to be multiple soap contracts in place, or some kind of divine intervention in order for Mills to have this opportunity, especially with the millions of dollars spent on security for the Super Bowl. In other words, the odds of this happening were astronomical, yet the incoming energies may have assisted the probability of this occurrence. When the energy shift occurs, your body literally aligns itself with the incoming energy, creating a frequency that resonates all the way down to your cellular DNA. It's almost like being on a natural high without the use of any illicit substance. For some people, the initial onset of these energies may be draining as the body adjusts to the new frequencies. but within a few days you probably transmuted any energetic effects from these energies and are now feeling fully recharged and energized. If you are still feeling a bit off kilter, then you may also want to experiment with selenite if you need help cleansing your aura or cleaning up all energy blockages. You will notice an uplifting feeling around family and friends who are feeling these energies, and despite the mainstream media pushing its fear propaganda, you feel restraint to any negative energies as if they don't even exist. You may also experience a decrease in appetite and the need for less sleep. Now is the perfect time to practice manifesting what you want out of life, because when you feel this good, only good things can happen. Believe in yourself and your abilities. You are much stronger and more powerful than you can possibly imagine. So that's good. So, we have made these adjustments in what's going on. We've come to this place in life. We all know about these changes. 2012 was a significant time. We crossed the ecliptic, and ever since then, things have been evolving. 2013 was a year things continued on to evolve. We hear talk of multi-dimensions and shifts and so on. And then we feel the energies. I feel the energies. The author of this article, Greg, feels the energies. There's many in the world who are feeling the energies, and I'm guessing you're feeling them too. So we just need to keep trusting the process, because there is definitely something at work that is for better of all. All right, let's listen to the message from Hilarion for today.
Hilarion's weekly message.
February 2nd to 9th, 2014, by Marilyn Swetleshoff.
Hilarion.
Beloved ones, many upon the planet are now awakening to the understanding that each individual is the creator of their own reality, and that the universe perfectly mirrors back what they put out through their thoughts, feelings, emotions, and attitudes. Now, by the laws of the universe, the good they have given out into the external world around them comes back unto them. At this point in the unfoldment of the divine plan, the law of grace is in effect, and humanity is being blessed by the neutralization of any repetitive thoughts that come unbidden from the very depths of their being. These core issues invariably have their roots in a previous existence, as life was experienced through a physical incarnation. The law of grace bestows the assurance that those of sincere heart, mind, and intent, who have adhered to the path of light in service to their brethren, be given every opportunity to release these patterns of expression that well up into conscious awareness, so they can be given acknowledgement and final release. Gone are the days of tedious and painstaking efforts to become filled with more light quotient, for this is now a moment-by-moment occurrence as more light fills the planet, and the strides being made in the advancement of the divine plan are beyond our wildest expectations. Many underlying changes are taking place within the structures of the old paradigm, and are quietly being replaced by new systems which allow the rights of all to come into consideration. There is a different approach to the solving of common problems that is now in the beginning stages of implementation. A person needs to be discerning in the recognition of these areas of improvement, and this in many instances is not an easy endeavor, for rarely are plain and honest truths being spoken for all to hear. Rather, one has to become a sleuth of sorts, in order to uncover the real story behind the words given. The tides of evolution are shifting in favor of the movement into higher consciousness for all upon your planet. It is through the opening into a higher awareness that humanity progresses into more enlightened stages of interaction with others of their species. As we have said before, this is a movement that is hardly noticed at first, but is one which will rise into prominence throughout the coming days. Those upon the earth who hold a high level of light quotient are asked to hold the higher vision of the world they desire to create. There will come a time when all your efforts begin to be seen, as miraculous changes for the betterment of all upon the planet rise into manifestation. Begin to keep a record of every small and positive change that you notice in the world around you, and you will soon see your list grow and expand. It is in the expression of the higher qualities of the spirit that the greatest changes will be noticed. People throughout the world are beginning to release the dualistic expressions and behaviors, and are expressing that which they feel emanating from within their heart. The more kindness that is expressed and shown towards one's fellows, the more this movement will expand exponentially. This practice also includes the expression of kindness towards oneself,
for without the acceptance of self, the love of self, the love for others and the expression of it is impeded. This is the work that is currently in process. The layers of self-negation and denial of one's divinity are being peeled away, and each individual is beginning to see and acknowledge the beauty and light that resides within their being. When people can see and recognize their own beauty and divine qualities, they begin to recognize these qualities in their brothers and sisters, and soon a shift, a change, is created within the dynamics of all relationships. Those who have been weary of seeing the lower qualities being expressed in the individuals around them will discern the changes as they occur, and soon a greater majority of people on the planet will embrace this way of expression. They will turn away from modes of behavior and expression that have been manifested as acceptable in the entertainment industry and realize that is not the way for them any longer. The people will seek those venues where the magnificence of the human spirit is being portrayed, and as more people do this, it will be seen as the true way and heartily embraced. Until next week. I am Hilarion.
Alright, very good. Good message for today. Now, let's look at our affirmation for today. You like these affirmations? I like them. I think it's good because we keep ourselves focused. That's what I'm all about, keeping the focus. Keeping the focus on the positive. Alright, I accept that I am an unlimited being, that I can create anything I want. It's a good one. It's a good one. So let's go ahead and let's close our eyes. Let's take a deep breath and exhale. Take another deep breath and exhale. Contemplate the words. I accept that I am an unlimited being and I can create anything I want. I accept that I am an unlimited being and I can create anything I want. And we can create anything we want because we are unlimited in our potential. And the more that we understand our connection to the divine, the more that we realize that divinity runs through our very essence. And the ability to manifest is part of who we are. So as we tap into our unlimited potential, we find that we can create whatever we desire simply by focusing our energies on it. So we imagine in our mind what it is we want to create. We visualize it. We see it in our mind's eye, and we imagine it that is manifest into the world. And as we manage that and imagine and believe it to be so, we allow that energy, that possibility to create itself. And then we let go. And when we let go, we allow the universe to bring back to us those energies in due time. Let's think about all the people of the world. There are many people out there going through challenging times today, caught up in the darkness and the negativity of the world. Let's imagine sending love and light to all of those individuals, that they may find a way out of their darkness, that the light may shine bright in their life, that they may find their path. Let's send out love around the planet to all of those who are feeling hopeless and fearful, caught up in the web of negativity and doubt. Let us send love that they find the hopefulness of the moment. And let us just think of the word trust and imagine that word circling the planet, that we as humankind, as beings upon this planet, learn to trust each other and learn to trust the process of spirit accept that I am an unlimited being and I can create anything I want. And imagine yourself walking along a beach, a bright sunny day. You feel a nice gentle breeze and you see the wind blowing the waves gently back and forth. And you think of the peacefulness of this moment. And you imagine that thought of peacefulness across the entire planet. And let's think of the planet Earth with the word peace all across it. And let's imagine a world of peace. A world where everyone is getting along. And let's imagine the four levels, the fire, the water, the air, and the earth. And let's imagine the element of the earth, the physical world. And let's help ourselves rise above that. And we see ourselves rise above it to the world of air. And we rise further above that to the world of water. And further yet to the world of ideas, fire. And from this world of ideas, we think of peace and love, beauty, harmony. And we see those words sprinkle down, travel through the world of water, through the world of air, and become manifest in the world of form. So let our subconscious mind continue on this journey, thinking good thoughts, sending good vibes into the world. And let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale. And open your eyes. That's it, my friends. Thank you very much for being here. Have an awesome day. I'll be back tomorrow with more news and information. Be safe. Talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.